Hi Aquarius, here's a general look at your solar chart for May 2012, and as the month kicks off, the focus is probably going to be in and around a base of operations wherever you are based at the moment. It might be at home, it might not be. Also, another way it can work is about family, so it might be family matters or harking back to the past maybe, and maybe there's a blast from the past. It could also be to do with tribal connections, neighborhood connections, in person in the locality or over the wires. So it can work in various ways, but that seems to be where the attention and where the energy is going to be activating things the most. Property matters may be a feature for some of you. In some respects, you may be pondering things around property. It can be just a space, or it can be a big chunk of property. It's sort of anything from a room, a space, to something bigger. But also some of you could be feeling more inwards, pondering your roots, a history, a tradition, parents, where you come from. It could be around the father energy more, but it might not be. And just remembering and feeling things a bit more deeply at times. Mentioning parents, they could have an influence now, and you could be seeing parallels somehow or other of the past in the present. It could be also to do with your patterning, from the past also, and you just always fall down that same old hole in the road. So whatever it is, anyway, these are the kinds of things. Some of you could be sensing a wiser part of yourself, a more ancient part of yourself, and that can help give you guidance, But some of you could be connecting very strongly with the earth at the moment, the earth herself and nature, and that would be a good thing for you to do, because it's quite a sort of physical, non-mental energy after the 9th anyway. Then you'll be sensing more, and it would be advisable to just allow that, give yourself space to feel how you feel and sense, really. And now Mercury is very strongly placed until the 9th in its own house, so you're likely to be very busy with stuff in your mind, maybe chatting, socializing, flitting hither and thither. There may be more mental focus on paperwork and schedules and correspondence and education, short trips. You can be getting out and about. You are kept busy with all of this stuff. Also, Mercury is lighting up the area to do with siblings, so you might be connecting with siblings, or maybe it's not that, maybe it's soul brothers and sisters. And definitely keeping your ear to the ground, because it would be advisable at this time. You could be the go-between for somebody and somebody as well. Study and literary activity is very well favoured then. Also anything to do with media and creative self-expression, and vehicles, communications equipment, travel, transport, all highlighted. You could become quite frazzled really sometimes, because a lot of head stuff going on there, so just grab any chance you can to calm down and center yourself. And then from the 9th onwards, Mercury comes into the same area as the Sun, which is what I was talking about at the beginning of the forecast. And that means that your mind will begin to turn inwards, you will be calming down, you will be looking more at your private life, the space you're in, property matters, or in fact emotional things, the past, and as I say, what I was speaking about earlier, but having to give your attention, or maybe some TLC, to family members or those in a community. And you could be very busy being the host, being the visitor in a community. And another way it can manifest is that you are working very, very much from home over the wires. So you'll have a lot going on a base of operations at that time. Now, luckily, things to make you smile aren't going to be very far away, because Venus is in a very playful area in your solar chart, Aquarius, and it's in a very good angle to your sun sign. So it just means that you get the chance to access more entertainment, more leisure type activities, perhaps hobbies, and it's a social milieu, it's a social environment, and you also could encounter, somebody that you really hit it off with, that you have a romantic encounter even at this time with Venus here. And Venus actually is going to be staying here until August, and so it's like the house of fun, whatever fun it is to you, because for some people it can be work. It's the house of empowerment where Venus is at the moment. So that can be through a romantic relationship, that can be through something that you like to do, that makes you feel good, which makes you feel confident. Something maybe that you might be learning to do that you think, God, I'm really good at that and I really like to do it. And so you try harder because it's quite a competitive house as well. Or it may mean just more laughs and friendly sharing along the way, and you feel valued. And with Mars where it is, which is in quite a turbulent place really, inner turbulence, that's been going on maybe since last November, feeling more valued and having a lighter sort of area which is highlighted in your chart is altogether a good thing. And this one's going to see you all the way through until the end of the Mars transit. So this is going to be a real ally for you, this Venus transit. It's going to, I think you feel brighter. I think you'll feel more upbeat. So in general, you'll have more access to entertainment, things which are, as I say, empowering, and you can have some fun. You can have a bit of a chat and a giggle, and maybe some of you will be getting into a romantic sort of relationship as well. And there could be more contact for you with, some of you, with children or animals, or people who make you feel your worth, So that's very nice. Now, to speak about Mars now, Mars has been sensitizing your feeling. Mars is in a very emotional area of the solar chart, and it does mean, actually, the whole time this Mars transit is happening, that you are shifting gears emotionally. So you're being reborn emotionally, but it can be a little bit rough along the way. Finances and property as well could have you, could really get you feeling frustrated, or maybe it's not like that. Maybe it's that you don't like to be so reliant or have to follow somebody else's rules because you don't have the overall say on things. It can be a bone of contention anyway. At times it's not switched on all the time because of course Mars is moving, and as it changes degrees it will be changing the emphasis in your natal chart. But in general anyway, it can be like this. So both sides have got to be clear about expectations and rules and regulations, whether these are others that you know or share things with in a space, or are reliant upon for a space, or they are reliant upon you for a space, or it's to do with a property transaction, which is just a bigger space, or in fact it's not like that at all. It can be to do with moral obligations. You have a moral obligation and you're just kind of stuck with it. Or maybe it's a contractual obligation, you're just kind of stuck with it. So you find ways round, you find ways to deal with it. And you could be a little bit preoccupied with these types of things from time to time. And if it's emotional stuff that's been going on for whatever the reason, then again you're preoccupied with that from time to time. So just be kind to yourself, Aquarius, because this is a very non-logical area, and you're very good at logic, but this is an area where you've got to be with yourself really a little bit more, and you've got to be, just wrap yourself in a bit of cotton wool. However, having just told you about Venus, I think that things to make you smile aren't going to be too far away from that, and that went in there in April, so you'll be feeling it already. I'm trusting that you will be feeling that already. And Now, there might be things going on to do with inheritance as well. That's another way this one can work, this area here. And because it is quite a feisty, shall we say, assertive, if not aggressive energy, you could be crossing swords with someone over something to do with resources, inheritance, legacies, monies in some way, or it's to do with property or whatever it is. And you just got to be careful. You've got to be more guarded. You've got to keep the lid on what you really, really feel. This might have been a theme with you. Just got to keep the lid on it. And intuition, however, is working well. You're very guided. You're very guarded. You're very protected with this one. And just know that it's there, and let your gut knowing shine the light on the path in front of you. Another way this can work is that you realize that a relationship is really getting deeper. You know, if it's just a friendship, then you're really bonding there. Or if it's a love relationship, then it can get quite sizzly, in fact, Sagittarius. So either way, it can mean a gear change is happening for you emotionally, whether it's about a relationship, whether it's about money, property, whether it's about contractual things, or whether it's about something completely different. You are actually, with this transit, in the house of rebirth. You're in the house of death and rebirth. So an old way of being is you're dying, that's dying away, and you're shifting from one stretch of road to another, from one set of parameters, one way of being, one way of inhabiting this world to another, and maybe letting go of a few old opinions or an old standpoint along the way, in order to make way for the new birth, the new shoots coming up. From the 21st, there's a creative, more outgoing, yet still very practical vibration around. And that's it for May. Now, here I've been speaking about the faster moving inner planets, but you've got to put this together with the slower moving outer planets. So go to my website if you're not there already and find out what they might be doing for your sign this month and which part of your sign they may be affecting. And also you might like to find your rising sign or your moon sign. It'll add to or subtract from what I've said here. And I hope that helped, and I'll see you the next time.